I was out after work having a flick for some Tailor, but before the sun went down, I like to fish sort of the last hour of sun, I thought I'd have a little bit of a crack for some flatties on the micro jig. I was down here the other day with the 10 gram, which seemed to work well, so I thought I'd have a crack with the little 5 gram today. I was just taking a few casts to work out the sink rate and how long it would take to hit the bottom before flicking it up. After about 2 or 3 casts, you sort of get into the rhythm of it. 5 grams is pretty light, so it's a little bit harder to feel, but they have a lot slower sink rate, which I think work really well. Lovely. Came and smacked it on the top. Just a little tacker.
Little flathead. Flathead.
The little bastard took out my camera. A few casts later, I got another one. And as usual, I was standing right out of shot. I was pretty much using the same sort of technique on the last one, and it was probably about 10 minutes later. This one was a tad bigger, but it was only about 35 centimetres, or even probably a little bit under that. 30 is the minimum. The jig messed him up a little bit, so I kept him. I was going to chuck him in the smoker with whatever Tailor I caught. Here I've just got the monsoon breaker. So it's a 29 gram lure, so I've got a little bit of a heavier setup of my, 3 to 5 kilo rod, and I've got a 3000 reel with 10 pound braid and 10 pound leader. I don't mind using the bigger lures in the river for Tailor at the moment. You probably don't get as many, but you definitely get more of the bigger ones, or those size ones that you're after, rather than pulling off heaps of those tiny choppers that are around the place. I've just got the BKK fangs and one small assist hook on it as well. Nice little hooker. Taking my time, got the rod tip aimed low again just because I don't want it to breach, particularly with the heavier lure. With a 30 gram lure, when it flicks its head, you can shake it out pretty quickly. This one was
Not too big.
probably just undersized anyway.
Yeah.
Quick release and on his way. It's a pretty simple casting here, just flicking the lure out, counting to about 4 seconds to let it sink, start reeling it in with the rod tip sort of horizontal, a few pauses here and there or a slowdown. There we go. Bang. Rinse and repeat and change up your retrieve here and there. This one was a little bit better.
Good one.
Just taking my time. Trying to keep it from breaching. got that last 10 to 15 minutes of sun to capitalise. Beautiful way to spend an afternoon. Perth City's a pretty good place when it comes to this. You can fish for Tailor well into the night, even on these lures. If I had brought my headlamp, I might have stayed, but if you don't have the right lighting, you end up smashing lures into your guides, or almost hooking yourself, or getting bloody line around the end of your rod. It's a pain in the ass, really. I usually have at least a cheap little headlamp in my fishing bag, but I don't know where the hell it is. Probably on a beach somewhere.
Dropped him. Only a small one.
Little inquiry. A few little bumps and bang. Another smaller one. It's probably, I don't know, maybe just undersized, who knows. There was heaps of them around this size, but I was lucky enough to get that one, sort of high 30s one, which was perfect for the smoker. So I kept one of the nice Tailor and a Flathead and prepped him for the smoker. So I fired up some coals on the Weber Go Anywhere. While I was doing that, I just smothered the Flathead and the Tailor in brown sugar, salt and fennel seeds. It was probably about a 3-to-1 mix of the salt to brown sugar and a handful of fennel seeds. Left it on there for about 20 minutes, and as you see, the salt will make it melt into the fish. The fish are gutted and also scaled. Chucked them on the smoker with the heads towards the coals, so that because the heads don't, I'm not going to eat that, so if they get a little bit burnt, it's all good. I had it with some applewood chips, which I put 2 handfuls on, one in the beginning and one about halfway through, and smoked it for probably about 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes. I just really look until that skin starts to come away from the fish, and then I know it's ready. I then vac pack them both up and let them set for a few days. I'm going to make a nice little hors d'oeuvre of this flathead. I literally just make one cut on either side of the backbone, and I can sort of just like basically pull the flesh away from the skin, and all the bones and the skin just stay there. The skin really goes leathery from the smoking process, and you can just pull out the nice white flesh. I'm just flaking that up. You just pick out the nice little white fleshy bits from the skin, and all the bones and whatnot are left behind. You still have to pick out bones obviously from those chunks of meat, but it's not a bad way to do it. So because the flathead has got that, I guess, pretty hard skin, you can make incisions in it to let the smoke go in a little bit more, but this is sort of a mildy smoke flavour, so for the dish that I'm making, it was perfect. So here I'm just picking out any of the other bones that are left. Then with the flesh, I just put in a couple of spoons of cream cheese. I'll add in some chopped up dill. I'll squeeze in some lemon to taste, salt, and a big chunk of cracked pepper. Don't go easy on the pepper. Then I've got some little biscuit toasty things, and I've put some pickles on top. And then I had the worst attempt at trying to pipe out this mixture. My wife saw this and was laughing her ass off at this shithouse attempt. Turns out there was actual piping bags which I could have used, but I went with the old sandwich bag, which was pretty average. Having said that, these were tasty little morsels. I would highly recommend this one. Thanks for watching, guys. For more videos, please subscribe. Feel free to ask any questions in the comment section.